Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos talks producer involvement on dates. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos is about to end her journey. Her season finale will air on Wednesday night. She has been making media rounds and revealing behind-the-scenes details fans love to know. One of those things she recently discussed was how involved producers are in the dates. What did she have to say? Keep reading to find out more. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos reveals how involved producers were. Golden Bachelorette appeared on the Please Excuse My Grandma podcast, where she opened up about how involved producers were on her dates. There have always been assumptions that production arranges everything on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, including who gets to go on the date. Joan set the record straight. She revealed that before her season ever began filming, they asked her what kind of dates she would like to do. They also asked her what type of man she was looking for. After that, they did arrange the dates as far as putting them together. However, Joan said she was totally in charge of who went on the date with her. She also dove a little into how it felt to have cameras around her all the time. Joan shared that after a while the cameras just become white noise. They put mix on Joan and the contestants basically write when they get up so they don't miss anything. At first, she was a little concerned she would say or do something wrong and it would be caught on camera. However, she later realized the producers were on her side and wanted her to find happiness and did not want to make her look bad in any way. Did she fall in love? Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos was asked on the podcast if she found love again. Joan shared that she found love as far as friendships with all the men. She would not reveal if she found real love with just one person. Joan said she wasn't allowed to share that information. However, she also said she doesn't like spoilers and would rather fans tune in and find out how her journey ends by watching. Fortunately, fans will not have to wait much longer. Joan's big season finale will air on Wednesday, November 13. The final two men will meet her family, and then she will choose between them. They are Chalk Chapel and Di Gansert. Joan Vassos may be the face of the Golden Bachelorette, but she's making it clear that not everything viewers see is entirely golden or fully hers. In a surprisingly candid post-show interview, Joan opened up about her whirlwind journey of love, loss, laughter, and producer cues. While many fans fell in love with her graceful demeanor and genuine heart, few realized the emotional tug-of-war that happened behind the scenes. They called it guidance, but sometimes it felt more like choreography, Joan said, raising an eyebrow in amusement. There were moments I wondered, is this date about me, or is this about the drama? At 61, Joan brought a refreshing sense of sincerity and class to the Golden Bachelorette, becoming a fan favorite after her tearful exit from Jerry Turner's season of The Golden Bachelor. But stepping into the lead role brought with it a very different kind of pressure, especially from the ever-watchful eyes of producers, who, according to Joan, often had a very specific storyline in mind. Romance or reality script. Joan recounted one particular date that started with horseback riding along a California vineyard at sunset. The scene was breathtaking, her companion was charming, and everything was set for a magical moment, until producers handed her a not-so-subtle prompt card. They wanted me to bring up his past marriage within the first 5 minutes, Joan revealed. But I barely knew the guy. Let me get my boot in the stirrup before diving into his trauma. She laughed, but her words carried a quiet edge. Joan emphasized that while she understood the importance of authenticity and vulnerability, some of the emotional beats felt forced. The producers, she explained, were constantly balancing two competing goals, letting her have real connections and crafting an unforgettable reality TV arc. I get it, she shrugged. They need a story. But sometimes, I felt like I was being nudged down a road I wasn't ready to walk, especially with certain men. They really wanted me to cry that night. The emotional climax of episode 4, where Joan broke down in tears while rejecting a fan-favorite contestant, was one of the most raw and unforgettable moments of the season. But now, Joan reveals that moment had more layers than we knew. I was already feeling a little off that day, she said. I had doubts about him, sure. But right before the date, a producer came over and said, if you're feeling conflicted, don't hold back. Be real. Tears are okay. While it might sound like gentle support, Joan said she could feel the subtle pressure behind the words. It's like someone handing you a violin and whispering, "You know what would be beautiful right now? A sad song." So she cried, partly because she was conflicted, but also because, in that moment, she didn't feel like she could just smile and keep things light. The expectation to feel big emotions had already been set. An unexpected favorite, and a surprise plot twist. Despite the producer involvement, Joan says there were moments of genuine magic, like her first one-on-one with Chalk Chapel, the rugged silver fox with a poet's soul and a secret talent for swing dancing. That date, totally me, she beamed. I picked the spot, I picked the activity, and I even picked the dress. It was the first time I felt like I was on a real date, not a date for cameras. But even then, producers couldn't help themselves. Midway through their dinner, a mystery envelope arrived. Inside, a surprise prompt asking each of them to write a love letter to each other on the spot. I looked at Chalk and said, "Can we skip this and just talk?" Joan laughed. And he goes, "Absolutely." So we ditched the letters and talked about our grandkids instead. They didn't love that, she added with a wink. Who was the real Joan? The biggest challenge, according to Joan, wasn't navigating the men. It was navigating the version of herself the show wanted to portray. I felt like I had to be everyone's warm-hearted widow, she said. But I'm more than that. I'm funny. I'm spicy. I get impatient. I make mistakes. And honestly, I love cheesy jokes and margaritas. I wanted America to see all of me. But often, producers steered her back toward the emotional, nurturing mother figure, a role she values deeply, but not the whole of her identity. I'd suggest a goofy group date like karaoke or mini golf, Joan said. They'd say, well, what if you did a picnic where you read letters from home instead? I mean, I cried reading those letters. But sometimes I just wanted to laugh. Behind the scenes, still grateful. Despite the occasional clash between authenticity and entertainment, Joan says she's grateful for the experience. I met real people. I had real feelings. I fell in love with someone. She hinted coyly. Yes, Joan, we saw that final kiss. And even the producers, who sometimes acted more like directors, have her appreciation. They worked hard. They cared. But we just didn't always see eye to eye, she said. At the end of the day, it's not a documentary. It's a TV show. And I knew that going in. Still, Joan hopes future bachelorettes, golden or otherwise, get a little more room to lead the journey their way. If I could do it again, I'd push harder for my voice, my dates, my choices. Because those moments, that's when the real love shows up. And maybe, just maybe, when the Golden Bachelorette returns for season 2, Joan's voice, fierce, funny, and fully her own, will echo behind the scenes, guiding a new woman through the wild, wacky, and occasionally overproduced world of televised love. Until then, Joan's holding on to the man she chose, the lessons she learned, and yes, her margarita, with extra salt.